In this video I will show you when you try to create groups based on a number. So you use sort first, but then you would like to add these resorted variables to the data frame in a correct way. Okay, so let's. I'm just going to use the last price in this data frame. So I'm going to sort it using sort. So if I now look at my sorted price, so for instance I'm just going to inspect the first 10, I will see that they are different from the last price, the first 10 observations. Yeah. So they are not in the same order anymore. Now what I would like to check is what has been done with the missings before I start. Well, apparently there's no missings, but are there missings in the original variable? There are missings. So somehow R just deleted all the missings using the sort command. Yeah? Which makes sense because you cannot sort a missing. But anyways, so if we're going to use this cut variable and we're just going to create like 3 different groups, so I'm just going to do this in a way that is not correct, but so please don't do this the same way as I do. So I'm going to use 20, I'm going to use the median, I'm going to use the third quarter, and then I'm going to use the last price as the break, right? So let's say, okay, so now we have these 3 groups. Of course I would like to give them labels. I'm just going to label them 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So let me now use a table function to see if it's done correctly. And indeed, there are 3 groups, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So, okay. So what if I save this into price groups, but now I would like to add these price groups to the data frame, and that's not going to work because, well, let me just show you what happens if you do that. If I'm going to add it, it's going to say, the replacement has 971 and the data has 3000. So it means that it does not know what to do with the missings. So what we need to do is select from the data frame only those rows that are not missing on price, last price. So if I now do it, I will not get into any error. Now let me check how this looks like. So I'm gonna just look at last price. I'm gonna look at the price groups. Oh, and I should not write F twice. Okay, so here we have it. So apparently there is one last price that is actually 99 and it's not. It's an NA, so this is already very weird. I wouldn't think. Okay, so now we have one more problem. So at least it's the same length, but it's the ordering is not correct, right? Because as you can see, there's only ones here. So the price group starts with just filling out all the ones, because price groups itself is ordered by number, right? Okay, so how are we going to do this? And I think I should label this 19 just to be sure that the first is also included. So what we need to do, we need to order price groups according to the data frame. So we can do that with the order commands. And now we have to think very carefully. Another thing maybe that would also make it more clear is that we use the index of the DF. Let me see if that's actually. So this is the sorted price. So what we can do is just say, okay, we're going to order this according to the DF last price, and then I'm going to say I want to include price groups. So let me just say, how does this look like? Would it, for instance, include the missings? So yes, it includes the missings. So now we can say, okay, we're gonna order according to DF loss price. We're gonna say that we have the price groups. However, now we still need to deal with like these NAs, right? So let me just copy paste this part into here. So now we say we only order those that are not NAs. Yeah. So let me do that. And let me check back how long this vector is. And indeed, it's exactly the length of this price groups. Yep. So now I'm just going to add. Oh, I do want to check it later on. So what I've done here is saying, okay, you know, now I got the data frame in order for the price groups to be added. Yeah. So what I do here, you might not be familiar, but I just say that I only want to select the column price groups. It would be equivalent to saying, well, delete this, to saying DF $ price groups. Yeah. So let's do this. And then let's check it. Now it makes more sense because the first four rows are 1, and then there are 3s which are higher price grouped, and here we see there is one in the middle. Yeah, so this is one way to do it. There's many different ways, but this is just one way too. So make sure that your ordering is the same as the sorted price, or the other way around, that the ordering of the sorted price is the same as the data frame.